Hello everybody, it's April 2nd today and I'm coming at you from Lake Tekapo. This morning I flew from Wellington to Christchurch on Jetstar. Only a 32-minute flight. It was so fast. It was such a cute flight. No issues leaving Windy Welly, so that was nice. And I arrived in Christchurch, picked up this car rental. Here we are. I'm calling her Blue Lightning because as you can see, she's blue. She's beautiful. I love her. Toyota Yaris. I'm on a road trip of the South Island. I just decided to take a trip. I don't know why. I just thought now's the time. I had done some road trips in the North Island. I really wanted to do one last road trip in the South before I move back to Canada. So that's what we're doing this week. I have Blue Lightning for 6 days. I drove from Christchurch right to Lake Tekapo with a stop at Fairlie because I wanted to go to the famous Fairlie Bakehouse and had a steak and cheese pie, which was delicious. Absolutely recommend. Unfortunately, I've gotten to Tekapo, as you can see, it's rain. There's still a beautiful view of the lake, absolutely stunning lake. However, it's raining, so I can't see the beautiful mountains that I know are surrounding Lake Tekapo because I've actually been here. I think this is my third time, maybe fourth time here. I know that the view is there. It's just hiding behind the clouds. So I'm gonna try again, however, on the way back to Christchurch at the end of my trip because I'm doing a loop, so I'm coming right back round. And I was gonna go hike Mount Cook tomorrow, not the actual mount, but Hooker Valley Track is a beautiful hike. And I wanted to do that hike, but not in weather like this. And it's supposed to be raining the next 3 days in the area. So I'm going to bypass that. And I've booked a place to stay at Wanaka tomorrow night because I'm hoping for better weather further south. And then I can come back around and try again next week when I hopefully have better weather for outdoor activities and I can see, you know, some beautiful mountain views, maybe even do some stargazing. So yeah, I'm just taking it easy. There's no actual things that I want to do on this road trip. I just want to enjoy myself. I loved the drive. It was only like 3 hours today in total driving. I made a couple stops. I had lunch and breakfast stops. I stopped at a couple Kmart's to get some supplies. Yeah, I'm just really loving the freedom of having a car again. I think that alone is just amazing to me. I love being able to drive myself places. So yeah, I just had such a fun time singing along to my music and stopping whenever I felt like it, and I love it. Thankfully, the rain has stopped, so I can go for a walk now by Lake Tekapo. Let's go check it out together. Here she is, Blue Lightning, Toyota Yaris. I actually really like it, except the pickup on the car is not very good. I mean, not bad for a view from a parking lot. So actually, typically there is a lot of mountains over there that you can see. That's Lake Tekapo, but you can't see it on a cloudy day. I'm gonna walk over the bridge, go see the famous Church of the Good Shepherd. Beautiful. I should have bought that new iPhone. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the South Island. It is the next day, 3rd of April, and we are at Lake Pukaki this morning. Unfortunately, the rain has stayed, but a bit of sun has come out through the cloud, and I made a stop here at a scenic lookout. Look at that. That is Lake Pukaki, just down the road from Lake Tekapo. Not much here, just a toilet and a car park. This is how I'm starting my day, on the open road and beautiful scenery. What more can you ask for? Look at this. I came down closer to the lake and this is a fungus. Some kind of mushroom growing on the side of the stump that's been cut. It's so bright orange. That's really weird. Almost looks like rotted clementine oranges, but that is a fungus. Looks like some birds have been at it, or maybe humans. And I don't know what all these dots are in the log. Welcome to Wanaka, everybody. I just dropped my bags and checked into my hostel. I'm staying at Haka Lodge. I just drove down to the lake because I wanted to see it while there's some sun. I can't believe there's actually sun. It's just been overcast and raining all the way down here. I saw some pretty awesome things on the drive down though. Beautiful country out this way. There were many stops that I wanted to stop off at, but because the weather was not ideal, I did not stop this time around. But like I said before, I can try again next time on the drive back since I'm doing a loop. I drove down in like 2.5 hours. It was really not that hard, and it's been a while since I've been to Wanaka, and I've actually only ever stayed here once before. Usually we always just used to go all the way down to Queenstown, but here we are. Wanaka. Haka House is a new chain of hostels in New Zealand that I've not stayed in before, and they're actually very nice, very trendy, a little bit more expensive, but also just a lot better of a setup I find in New Zealand. I'm just gonna walk by the lake here. Do you hear how quiet it is? It's literally so quiet, and it's actually kind of warm when the sun does come out, so I'm happy to be here. The water, beautiful. The sand, soft. I can only imagine in the summer, it'd be really nice to go for a swim in Lake Wanaka. And the view, look at the view. Stunning. This is the Wanaka Boardwalk, and it's a beautiful walk, well manicured gardens the whole way. Okay, I walked to Ely Point, and it's 2.5 kilometers from Wanaka Beach to get to Ely Point. Just leisurely walking, nothing crazy, but this view is worth it. We got mountains as far as the eye can see. Looks like I'm standing in front of a green screen right now. Even though it's overcast, it's still beautiful, and it keeps going up behind me. There's even more. Wow, I highly recommend this trail. Don't miss it when you're in Wanaka. Do you hear how quiet it is? Just listen. Good morning, everybody from Wanaka. It's April 4th today, and I woke up with a beautiful view. The rain clouds have parted, but the wind has picked up. My, it's never windy this morning. But I decided to leave Wanaka. I was up in the air yesterday whether I was going to spend another night here. There was a hike I was really wanting to do called Rob Roy's Glacial Hike, but unfortunately there's 30 kilometers of an unsealed road, and my car rental agency specifically said, no, this car rental cannot go on that road, which honestly may be for the best because I think it's like over rivers and, well, not rivers, but creek beds and stuff. And so it's pretty much a four-wheel drive job. So I have a Yaris, okay? That's not an off-roading vehicle. So I decided not to do that this time. That's okay, because if you don't do everything that you want in a destination, it's just another reason to come back. So I definitely want to come back and do that hike. One day I will, with the right car to do it properly, so I don't have to worry about getting stuck in the middle of nowhere with no cell service. Probably not the smartest thing. So because that hike didn't work out, I'm going to move on today. I've booked a place to stay tonight in Queenstown, so I'm going to make my way slowly down to Queenstown. It's only like an hour's drive from Wanaka. It's not that bad. On the way there, I'm going to stop in Arrowtown. Arrowtown is a quaint little picturesque town. You can do some shopping there. There is some hikes and stuff in the area. Because I'm leaving New Zealand, I kind of want a couple souvenirs as well to remind me of my time here. So I want to get some stuff that's like New Zealand branded and stuff like that. So that's the plan for today. Love Wanaka. Really great. Bit quiet this time of year. I'm really grateful that I got to see all of the mountains today with the cloud cover gone. So anyway, I'm gonna hit the road now. I just left the hostel in a hurry. It wasn't my favorite hostel, Haka House. It was a little bit noisy last night in my room, which is not the hostel's fault. It's just the people that were in my room. I didn't have the best sleep. So I just wanted to get out of there. Didn't even have breakfast or nothing. Just hitting the road, hitting the ground running today. So happy to see the sun. Okay, let's get on the road now. Just pulled into the historic town of Arrowtown. I snagged a parking spot right away, free parking, which is awesome. So let's check out this historical town just outside of Queenstown. Bad view. Welcome to Queenstown, everybody. Love it here. And you know what? It's actually sunny, warm, and beautiful. I thought it was going to be cold. No, I'm actually warm right now. What a lovely welcome to Queenstown, the adventure town of the South Island. I walked into town because I'm staying at a hostel that is only 5 minutes away, but there was free parking. If you stay in hostels in the town center, you have to pay for parking, and it's just a bit of a headache. I decided to stay at the Flaming Kiwi Hostel. Town looks a bit different to me now. I feel like there's a lot more retail here than before. Lots has been developed. I don't even really remember this area. Like, I feel like this is new behind me, a whole new shopping center. I'm just rediscovering Queenstown. It's been maybe 3 years since I was last here, so definitely things have changed a little bit. Couldn't come to Queenstown without getting a Ferg burger. So dinner with a view today, and a cookies and cream milkshake, which I'm so excited. It's so delicious. Honestly, I devoured that in like 10 seconds. It was delicious. If you are in Queenstown, it's worth it to get the Ferg burger. Just go for the original. I feel like if you go for the other flavors, it may be hit and miss, but the original Ferg burger with cheese, it always hits, it always slaps. It's just so good. And this cookies and cream milkshake is delicious. There's actual chunks of real cookies in there. Like their ice cream is so good as well. You have to try Ferg burger when you're in Queenstown. I couldn't come here and not have a Ferg burger. It's just tradition at this point. So good morning, everybody. Welcome to Saturday, April 5th. I am on the road already. I didn't really like my accommodation last night in Queenstown. It was probably the worst hostel out of all of the ones I've stayed at so far. So I got out of there as soon as possible and I hit the road, but I did a couple stops. I went back to Frankton, which is a little town suburb just outside of Queenstown. And I wanted to get a souvenir to remind myself of my time in New Zealand. So I got a shirt yesterday that has a patch on it. It's embroidered and it says New Zealand, and it's got embroidered mountains and a sunset. And then today I did some research and I found this place that was selling a locally printed hoodie and design. It's from the brand called Life is Better. I love this hoodie. It was a splurge. So this is the brand and I really like it. If you're curious, this hoodie was $110, a little steep, but it is supporting a local business and it was made in Queenstown. Well, printed in Queenstown, but I love the design. It's a very basic neutral color. So the only thing I wish that this was embroidered. That is my preference with hoodies, but this is just printed, screen printed. But I love the lilac font. I'm wearing a lilac top. This top I got for 99 cents. Like lilac lately, so I thought this was an awesome way to remind myself of my time in New Zealand, and that's Aotearoa. I love that. I thought that was so pretty. And then at the front of the hoodie has a little print of the Remarkables there. Life is better. I couldn't find something like this in Queenstown that I liked enough to want to spend the money on it. So I'm very particular with my design. I wanted it to have mountains and the sun is amazing, and then I just like this whole aesthetic. So yeah, love that. So once I got my souvenir in Queenstown, I decided to fill up the tank. So it was about a quarter to empty and it cost $80 for 91 petrol to fill it, and I'll have to probably do that one more time before I leave, well, before I drop the car back off. And then I just hit the road and I've been driving and it's sunny, and I'm so grateful that it's still sunny today because it rained last night while I was at the hostel. And I just pulled over to a site here, a scenic site of some roaring rapids or something like that. There's a lot of activities you can do in this area in Queenstown. There's bungee jumping, jet boating, whitewater rafting, there's canyoning. You could do all the things. I was interested in maybe doing a 4x4 tour to Glenorchy, but it only left at 1:30 p.m. and that was just too late for me. So I didn't do that, but there's so many activities to do in Queenstown. Please get involved. One time I was here, I actually did paragliding. It's just so fun to get out there and experience some of the adrenaline junkie adventure stuff that you can get up to here in Queenstown. So anyway, without further ado, let's go check out these rapids or whatever it is I'm gonna see. I just pulled over on the side of the road. That's a benefit of having a car rental. You can just pull over whenever you want. Literally the highway is right there. And I just was like, you know what? We'll have a look. Let's have a look. Oh my God, the lighting right now, guys. It's so beautiful. I just told you about the canyoning. They were literally flinging themselves in those rapids there, holding on to boogie boards. What the heck? What was that? I just came down to look at this. I guess that's the roaring part, is the dam there. But yeah, then this tour just came, they just like in wetsuits down this freezing water. But this view behind me is literally out of a painting. I can't even imagine how beautiful it is. Like the lighting right now and everything. Like, look at that. What? How is this real? How is this an actual place to visit? I can't believe that. Incredible. This is the story of Shrek. This is his likeness as he was discovered after 5 years without being shown. Had 27 kg worth of excess wool. And here's a little story of him. This is the real Shrek. Look at him. What a bugger. They found him on this little iceberg here. Not a care in the world because he was obviously carrying around the world's heaviest winter coat. But there he is. Shorn after the first time in 5 years. He rose to fame in central Otago. Well, there you go, Shrek. And I just made a quick pit stop here. This quaint little stop here in Bendigo. Well, one horrible bumpy gravel road later, and I've made it to Clay Cliffs Scenic Reserve. I don't think it's a reserve. I think it's actually on private land. But there's the car park down there. Beautiful view behind me. I've wanted to come here for a while. I'm so glad it's sunny and that I get to see it. Let's explore. You can just see all the stuff, the sediment inside of all of these cliffs. It's just compacted rock over millennia, I'm assuming. And this probably all was underneath the ocean long, long time ago. It's just so cool. Definitely worth a stop. That wraps up my experience at the Clay Cliffs in Omarama. You have to navigate around loose gravel. So if you have mobility issues, it may be a little challenging, but it's not a hard walk. It is uphill though, so keep that in mind. But there we go. Highly recommend it. So pretty. Got some epic shots thanks to some people who offered to take my photo and a couple tripod shots. It was great. I loved it. And now, time to go check into my private motel room. So excited. Say goodbye to the Clay Cliffs. Bye. I made it to my motel and I'm so excited to have my own space and I can actually see my car. So let's do a room tour. You park the car outside, there's Blue Lightning, and then look at my cute little king studio. I got a couch, a king bed. It looks like it's been newly renovated. It's nice and cool in here. Don't mind my little food bag, little seating area, even a kitchenette. I can make some eggs in the morning, which is awesome. I love it. I love it so much. And then we have a bathroom over here. Oh, it's beautiful. I love this. They must have just redone this because look at how pretty it is. Everything looks brand new. Look at the tile work, body wash. Oh my gosh. I highly recommend this motel if you ever come to Omarama or you're just passing through like I am. Like I needed somewhere to stay in between Queenstown and Mount Cook. It's called Big Sky Motel. Definitely check it out. I'm so happy. Hello again. After settling into my motel, I had lunch, chatted to Masha on the phone, and I decided to drive about 22 kilometers from Omarama. Omarama? I'm gonna guess that's how you say it. In a North American accent, I'd say Omarama. Anyway, I decided to drive here to Benmore Peninsula, and I'm doing a wee walk. Should be 45 minutes. You could do a longer one for like an hour and a half, but I feel like 45 minutes at 4 p.m. would be all right because I don't want to walk or drive in the dark. So this view is impressive from the start, literally from the car park. I was like, oh, it's so pretty. The drive here from Omarama, it was so nice. There were so many ranges and lakes, and then we come up to this dam. That's the dam there. So beautiful. And then once we get up above the dam, I have this view, and this is starting the hike, and so it's a bike trail. Highly recommend this. I've never even heard of this. I just looked it up on Google Maps and it recommended like top things to do. I have so many pinch me moments on this trip. This is another pinch me moment. Look at that. God, I love life. This is the fork in the road. So this is a really popular track to do, Alps to Ocean. And there's signs for it all over this area. But I'm doing the track, so let's go this way. Starting to look like a mountain goat track, covered in pine cone. I don't know how much I'm gonna walk of this one because it's looking a little bit rough, and I'll just go until I feel like it. I may not complete it. Here we go, up the side of a mountain. I wonder how far this goes up. Pretty autumnal vibes. I am a little early. The leaves are starting to change color now, but I'm 2 to 3 weeks early for the beautiful change of the leaves. Right now, just starting to turn. Come end of April, you would be in for a treat. Absolutely beautiful autumnal vibes. The track is getting a bit more technical, so I think I'm gonna call it. I reckon where I would eventually end up is up top there, and I've already worked up quite a sweat going halfway. I'm sure the view up top is pretty, but honestly, as I said, I was just entirely happy with the view from the car park. What a beautiful time to be alive, surrounded by nature, nobody around, like there's nobody here. I could go to the top, but I would be pushing myself and I just don't feel like it. Sometimes you got to take it easy and listen to your body. I'm also recovering from a back injury, a nerve injury. I don't want to push it. So I'm going to stop here. Thoroughly satisfied though. And I just wanted to touch on, just because you don't finish a hike doesn't mean that it wasn't a success, because you win either way. I mean, anytime you're in nature is a win. So thanks for coming along with me on my little adventure in nature, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Good morning, everybody. It is April 6th today, and I'm coming at you from Mount Cook Village, almost the village. I just pulled over at a lookout this morning. I woke up really early, but the clocks went back, so it feels like time is dragging on because we gained an extra hour. So it is only 10:30 in the morning. I've already made breakfast at my cute little motel. I packed all my bags. I even had a hot chocolate because she offered hot chocolate as part of the included extras. There were so many included extras with the stay, like makeup remover wipes and little Mentos mints, a little bit of milk in the fridge. I just had such a nice stay in that motel. So then I went to Twizel. I got some food at the Foursquare there. I got non-perishable food because I won't have access to a refrigerator, so I needed stuff that could just stay in the car. I looked at the weather forecast and it says that it was overcast. I was really nervous driving here. I'm like, it's so overcast. But then as I'm coming into the village, I got to this lookout and oh my gosh, it's clearing. The clouds are clearing and it's looking promising that as the day progresses, we're gonna get incredible views of Mount Cook. There is a little bit of low cloud, but I think it's clearing. This afternoon should be fairly clear conditions for the Hooker Valley track, and it's one of my favorite hikes, if not my favorite hike in New Zealand, because it's a beautiful view from the start to the finish. Nice graded rolling trail with swing bridges, suspension bridges, and a glacial lake at the end. It's just absolutely stunning. That's the hike I've been looking forward to doing the most for this entire South Island road trip, so I'm glad that it looks like, fingers crossed, it looks like it's panning out in my favor. I still have like 40-kilometer drive to get to the village where the hike starts, and it's starting to get busy, lots of tourists still. Probably not as hectic as it would have been with high season. Anyway, I feel like I'm rambling, so I'll catch you when I get to Mount Cook Village. It's getting busy, although not many people stay here very long. They just take their photos and then they leave. Oh my God, it's turning into a stunning day. I'm so happy. Look at that. You can see the glacier and Mount Cook. Okay, so park and then the start of the track with some public toilets. And the track starts over there. I managed to find Rockstar parking like right by the entrance. Super happy about that. The trail is definitely busy, but I wanted to wait to do the hike until the weather and the clouds lifted, so I did come later in the day. But I suppose if you come early in the morning, you'll have less people on the hike. But again, it's not peak season, so I don't expect it to be as busy as it would have been in the height of summer. First suspension bridge. Absolute unreal scenes. So cool. stunning. Stunning. Is that the world's scenic suspension bridge? In the running for sure. For world's most scenic suspension bridge. Made it. That took 1 hour 20 minutes, and I took a lot of breaks to take photos, and it was actually almost 5 kilometers to the lake, so that's going to be another 5 kilometers back. I underestimated the length. I forgot that this was a little bit longer of a hike than I remember, because the last time I walked it was 2020, 5 years ago. But the reward is so worth the walk. I mean, the entire walk is stunning, like beautiful. So the reward is the lake at the end, even though you've been rewarded the whole way pretty much with Mount Cook.
Two, three. One more. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, well, it's 3:30. The sun is setting. It's golden hour, and the trail is getting a little bit more quiet, which is quite lovely. I have a section where there's no one really directly in front of me or behind me, and it's much more enjoyable that way, much more peaceful, and you can just experience the nature. I mean, look at this view behind me. Incredible. I have to say, the walk going there is so scenic because that's what you're looking at, and then the walk leaving, you just see like a plateau, so it's not as scenic. But then if you take a photo of yourself, you're reminded of what's behind you. I actually stopped and had a little pizza bap and a banana, and I guzzled my water down, and that gave me some fuel for the 5K back to the car. But I love this hike. You have to do this hike. Please, if you come to the South Island, do this hike. If you don't do any other ones, make sure this one is on your list, Hooker Valley Track. Okay, according to this sign, definitely not 21, otherwise you will break the bridge, collapse, and fall into the river. So listen to the signs, people. By far my favorite part of this hike are the suspension bridges. So awesome. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm doing a dry run, basically, where I'm walking from the airport to my accommodation, Lilo, because they said it was only a 10-minute walk, and I just wanted to make sure I know what I'm doing because I'm leaving for the airport tomorrow at 5 in the morning. I wanted to do a dry run. That's me, I'm very prepared that way. And it really is a nice walk. So welcome to Christchurch. I got here around noon. I left Mount Cook at about 8:30 in the morning and I just drove. So I didn't vlog anything because I just drove and drove and drove and drove. Literally didn't take many breaks. I just wanted to get to Christchurch so that I had a little bit of time in the city with the car rental because I had to drop it off at 2:30 p.m. and I did. I went into CBD, I was able to pay for parking for an hour, and then I walked around, I did some shopping. I had lunch at that marketplace with all these cool food places. And before I knew it, it was time to drive back to the airport to drop my car off. Nothing was wrong with the car, everything went really well. But before I dropped my car off, I thought I better drop all my bags off at the hostel so that I didn't have to carry them on this walk back. So I did that, checked in, I'm in a pod tonight. I'm now carless. I really miss my car already. I'm gonna be honest, driving in Christchurch was not the most pleasant experience. I don't know, there's just a lot of roadworks and a lot of weird rules, traffic rules and stuff, but I had such an amazing road trip. I feel like some of the scenes I saw yesterday were unreal. I can't believe it. Incredible scenes. Mount Cook was just jaw-dropping. I love it. I loved my trip so much. I'm so grateful that I had this opportunity to see the South Island one more time before I move back to Canada. So my heart is full. I feel really great about this decision to come do this road trip. So thank you so much for watching. I'll say last South Island road trip vlogs. Not ever, just for a little while. It's not gonna be forever. I probably am gonna come back one day. But thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in another video. Bye!